Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay. I could lie and say that it was something to do with technology, but it wasn't. I was actually fast asleep. I was absolutely panned out. Just before coming live, I just spotted a message from Colin, definitely not Cromwell, who's in the side chat with us right now, over in Kenneth King's live stream over in his court. A fight, like an actual fight, broke out. So we're going to have a quick look at that first, and then we're going to get our guest on for this evening. But I've got a special guest with me today. Look who it is. Is Pippa in the house? Oh, you were asleep with Dada, weren't you? Oh, you're very quiet now. God almighty. Hello. Look at how big she's gotten. Well, I mean, as big as a 2-pound chihuahua can get, but you're all grown up. What happened? What's going on? Were you asleep too? Were you passed out too? Mwah. Hello. Have a kiss? No kiss. No, you're too sleepy. You're all fuzzy. She had a bath and a blow dry. But look at how big she's gotten compared to what she was anyway. I mean, she's still teeny tiny, but oh, she's so warm and fluffy, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Like she still literally sits in the palm of my hand. But she, like, this is the quietest I've seen her in a month. Oh my god, you're so fuzzy. Oh my god, you are so fuzzy. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, little teddy bear? Say hello to everybody. Hello, little teddy bear. What's going on? Huh? What's going on? Mwah. Oh, anyway, so she is I haven't actually, this is literally the quietest I've seen her in a month. She's so chill. She's a good little girl. Anyway, so we have a guest coming on with us tonight, and that is Ashley. So Ashley is a former, former and current, depending on what way you look at it, victim of Turtleboy, somebody who put up with a hell of a lot of shit from him. So I am going to send Ashley the link right now to join the stream. I was supposed to do it earlier. But yeah, I passed out hard. I've had a long day, and we, in fairness, hold on now, we have a message.
Bear with. Jesus,
babe, I'm trying to work here. You can't just come in and stink out my studio.
Have to leave if
you can't just come in and stink out the whole studio. It's bad enough you farted your way around the house.
I am genuinely not sure I can continue to sit here.
Your new glasses are lovely.
They are.
No, hold on. I'm just saying. Don't you sass me. Here. I'm just saying your new glasses are absolutely beautiful. They frame your face so beautifully, and the color is really good.
Oh, come off it.
The color. Hold on. Hear me out. The color works with your face. Like, it just frames your face beautifully. I just said I'd let you know.
Just so you need to tell me the frames.
Frame your face beautifully, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just letting you know. They're very, very beautiful, and I'm proud of you. And I'm glad that you really like those glasses because they cost a fucking fortune. What did Cox not do? Not much. Just acting like a bitch in the side chat. That's about it, really. Out of nowhere, it's like it's just trying to be edgy. It's like I just tell people, just leave him say whatever he wants. I don't care. Like,
John Michael Dennis asked me, any special lenses going as in my prescription? Believe it or not, I was wearing bifocals for a while. But when I went back to a different eye doctor, he burst out laughing and was like, you are 25 and therefore definitely do not need to be wearing bifocals.
Yeah.
So these are a new one. I'm still getting used to them, so I'm kind of seeing double sometimes, but...
Lucky you.
Oh, get to see two of you.
Yeah, baby.
Get to see two of myself in the mirror.
You poor bastard. We'll get your regular glasses back. Pretty sure I shipped myself. I think I might need an oil change.
Yeah. Sean O'Sullivan says.
Eye doctor, is that a technical term? No,
The
that's
most
not it.
technical.
See, in Tipperary, they just have to be very simple. It's like doctor, eyes, eye doctor.
The opticians.
That's not what an optician is. Not an eye doctor.
No, but it's like.
That's an ophthalmologist.
Sorry. Sean O'Sullivan says had LASIK.
LASIK. Really?
20 years ago, highly recommended, glasses free to this day. See, I have astigmatism as well as really bad eyesight, so I'm not sure I could even get laser eye surgery even if I wanted to. I don't think. You gonna
What?
speak? No.
No.
Oh.
Can I just clarify one thing, Coxnut? It's not that I don't like what you say. It's just that you're crying because nobody cares what you say. You're just acting really strange. Like sometimes you come in here, you're really chill and it's great. But you just started coming in here like, I'm so funny and crazy. I'm just going to say stupid things in the side chat to be edgy. It's like, you're not a 16. Don't you be hitting me under the table. He's not a 16-year-old boy. Like, chill.
He's allowed his opinions too.
Yeah, no, he can opinion away. That's my point. Have all the opinions you want. I don't give a shite what his opinion is, frankly. I don't.
Stop letting it work.
But it's not the opinion that's bothering me. It's the, look at how edgy I am. Oh, look at me coming in here causing trouble because I'm so fucking edgy. You're not edgy. Stop hitting me under the table. You're not edgy. You're just being an arsehole. No. Thank you. That's out of my system. Brent says, are y'all in Galway? We're not. We're in Cork in the deep south.
The deep south.
The deep south. Oh, we have Ashley in the house. Good to see you, Ashley. I'll bring you up on the screen right now. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Ashley, I'm so sorry I'm late.
You're all good. Can you hear Ashley?
No.
Damn it. Okay, 2 seconds.
It's okay.
Hold on.
I'll leave you to it and I'll come back at the end of the stream.
You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I don't mind.
No, it's okay. You.
Is that your code word for you want to go away and have a cigarette and fucking play with the dogs? Who are now
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, me too.
Enjoy your stream.
I will. I'll see you later.
Hello, Ashley.
Hi, tell her I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare her off.
No, you're all good. She's gone out there now. Happy opening. What's the dogs barking at, babe? All right, she'll check that out. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Oh my God, the dogs are going apeshit outside for some reason. So we have quite the interesting story about your scenario with Turtleboy.
Yes,
and
it was a nightmare.
I from what I've read so far, it definitely does seem like it was a pretty nasty kind of time that you had with right. Turtleboy. So there's a lot of documentation and sorry, I just got to close the door there because it's kind of cold.
I'm sure you didn't have a chance to go through it all.
I went through quite a bit. Can I help you? Your phone? No, love. All right. I got through most of it. And
we will try to keep my divorce part of it for now out to make this conversation much easier.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
little bits and pieces are going to have to come in because of the situation.
Of course. So whatever you kind of want to cover, we'll do that. But I suppose just to give people a bit of background, do you want to just kind of give us, a rough background of what the situation is and how this all came to pass that you kind of fell into the crosshairs of Turtleboy?
Sure. Let me shut this fan off so it's not blowing in my ear and going over my microphone. Back in 2020, my ex-wife, like I said, we're not going to go too much into my divorce. My ex-wife was allowing my 15-year-old daughter to have a sexual relationship with a 49-year-old guy. Mm-hmm. There's mental health reasons behind it, but basically it was because my ex-wife wanted another bouncy baby around.
Oh, Jesus.
I wouldn't allow it. I didn't even send you the picture of the guy, but I wouldn't allow it. The guy's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay. I kept separating my wife, my daughter, and this guy. I kept keeping them apart. My daughter thought at the time I was kidnapping her in her room and I was keeping them apart. It's because I didn't want my daughter to get pregnant by this pervert.
Yeah.
This guy met his wife. I don't know if they're married or divorced still. They haven't been together in forever. This guy met his wife when she was 14, and he was already, I believe, 25. Okay, so
Jesus.
the guy's a pervert. Not convicted, but he's a pervert.
Hmm.
So I kept trying to separate him. Finally, it got to the point where I was worried more about my children than I was worried about our marriage. I filed for divorce.
Yeah.
When I filed for divorce, my ex-wife got viciously angry.
Hmm.
She ended up leaving the house. She split. She took off. I'm like, good riddance, but she took my daughter with her.
Yeah.
The police tried to locate my daughter. I got a court order from the courts for custody of both my children at the time. I have 3, but 2 of my children were still minors. I got a
Yeah.
court order for custody of my daughter. You could never blame my daughter because my daughter was groomed by this guy.
Yeah.
My ex-wife's intentions were, ooh, another bouncy baby in her life. So each part of them had their own minds, going where
Mhm.
they decided.
And can I just so just to clarify, so you've 2 daughters and a son, is that right?
Correct. 2 girls and a boy.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
And so the younger daughter, she went missing basically, and there was some posters and things like that put up around the place. Is that right?
right. Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool.
She was
Is it okay
also
if I bring that up on the screen, the poster?
absolutely
Cool.
the missing, as long as her name's not on it.
Oh yeah, let me just
Black that out while I continue on.
Yeah.
So the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children ended up getting involved. My daughter was in the custody of this gentleman. I'm going to call him a gentleman because I don't know what I'm allowed to say here. So we'll go with gentleman. She was in the hands of this pervert, and my ex-wife was with her new boyfriend. My ex-wife was cheating behind my back, which is another reason for the divorce. Long story down the road. So the police went to investigate and interrogate my ex-wife, and she lied and said she knew nothing about where my daughter's whereabouts were. Somehow Turtleboy got involved with the situation. I don't know exactly how the details behind it, but Turtleboy started getting involved. Instead of Turtleboy doing the right thing and trying to help me find my daughter, he accused me of beating up my family. Now, this is the first time that I've been accused of beating up my family because my ex-wife has pulled stunts in the past, but they were proven that my ex-wife was using it to cheat on me. She had me arrested twice in the past. I come to work, I come home one day and the police are at the door to arrest me. I'm like, why? They said, you just beat up your wife. I wasn't even home. Both times my ex-wife did that was so she could have her, at the time, current boyfriend at the house.
Right. And so that's a different
Those
person
charges
to
to
a different
this guy, yeah.
So just to bring it back for a minute, so one of the videos that I saw earlier was your daughter's on Turtleboy, one of his streams.
Right, I'm
And
getting to that. I'm getting to that.
Cool. But just real quick, so they said that he was this guy that your daughter had a relationship was living in the backyard. Was that right?
At the time, yes.
Was it like in a shed or in a
He was in a camper in the backyard.
Okay, gotcha.
He was homeless, and at the time I thought I was doing the right thing by giving someone a place to live. Okay, so he got to live in a camper that I wasn't using anymore in the backyard.
Gotcha.
I do blame the whole situation on me for allowing this guy, not knowing he was a pervert, to live on our property. I didn't know he was grooming our daughter. I didn't know all that. So I do blame myself for allowing this guy to be around. Yes, that's on me. Okay. Turtleboy got involved and he left me a nasty voice message. I think I sent that to you.
Yes, so that was the one.
Not the one that says fake.
Let me just bring this up because there's a
lot of files in there. There's 28 files in there.
Just make sure I've got the right one. Oh yeah, that was the one my browser wouldn't allow me to play, so I'll just bring this up.
All right, it was probably a WAV file, WAV. Turtleboy calls me and says,
I think I have it here actually. I'll
all right.
Yeah, it's worth bringing it up just so people can hear it, and they'll know, they'll know that he's the legit
right. And
Turtleboy. There's no question about it.
My wife's cheated on me 5 times. The last 2 times, I didn't have any relations with her at all. But she wanted her boyfriends to come to the house, so she had me falsely arrested to get out of the house so the boyfriend could stay there for a few nights.
Yeah.
The judge threw out both cases because I was able to prove I was at work. So it's not like there's ever been any real domestic violence.
Because you've been to court with these and been found to be innocent
Correct.
both times,
I
right?
have
Okay.
zero criminal history.
So let me just play this. So this is the voicemail that you received from Turtleboy.
Right. We can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear that at all?
No.
Oh, yes. Okay. No, I understand why that is now.
If you need to, put your microphone near it on speaker for a
Actually,
moment.
that's not a bad idea. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually I'll just kind of paraphrase what he says, but basically he says it's Aidan Carley calling from Turtleboy News looking for an interview with you. Got your email, wanted to call back, wanted to see how things were going now that you don't have time to abuse your kids, basically, is what he was saying. Okay, cool.
So he started off with me abusing just my kids.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Then it wound up I abused my wife and kids. So he couldn't even keep his story straight then. Okay.
Yeah. And he kind of gone in deep with this whole thing from the outset, didn't he? He kind of
he could have he went nuts, yes. He could have actually done the right thing and tried to help me locate my daughter. Okay. He chose to go down a different path.
That's kind of what he phrased it as, though, wasn't it? That he was going to be, that he wanted to help, basically.
No, he didn't phrase his. If you've heard the tone of his voice. His tone was kind of antagonistic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was essentially he was mocking you.
I was sending him a bunch of emails, and he kept, he called me up, and you can tell it was his voice. I didn't record calls. You're a tranny freak. You're a fuckface. You're a tranny freak that beats their family and all this. And I'm like, I kept sending him emails and stuff like I sent you, proving that I wasn't guilty of anything he was accusing me of.
Yeah.
He just went wild with it. One of the emails, on the bottom of it, it was a police report from where I live, where my daughter stated that she didn't want to come home. She was afraid that I was mad at her because of her boyfriend. She stated that to the police directly. Never anything of abuse, never anything of any kind of situation of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
She thought I was mad at her because of her boyfriend. I was never mad at my daughter. You can't blame the victim.
Exactly.
I can play didn't know better.
I can play the voicemail here from my phone. Give me 1 sec. Oh, maybe I bloody can't. Hold on. What the fuck? I don't know why it's not working.
But that email that I sent you with the police report clearly states that there was never any abuse. There's never been any reports of abuse. Once Turtleboy got involved, DCYF, our local child protective agency, they were involved. At that point, they were involved basically almost every other day.
And so they received a ton of phone calls, did they not?
And one day they received, I think, 36 phone calls. Another day was like 50 something, and the number kept getting larger. The day that the investigators, again, I'm transgender, so it is what it is. That's the one. Yep. Go ahead, play that.
Got it.
Hi, this is Aidan Carney calling from TB Daily News. I'm looking for an exclusive interview with an Ashley St.Angelo. I got your email. I wanted to call back to book a time to speak to you about this, and wanted to see how things are going. I know you don't have any kids around to abuse anymore, so I want to see what you're doing to fill your day. So give me a call when you get this. Thanks. Bye.
So yeah, you can clearly hear the antagonistic tone there.
Right. What I kept doing is I kept sending him emails proving I wasn't guilty.
Yeah.
But that one email where the police report, where my daughter stated that the only reason she didn't come home is because she thought I was mad at her because of her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. I felt with that report that she felt kind of ashamed of herself, that she felt shame for being with the guy. Not that I was mad at her or something. Then, kids have guilt because they think maybe they did something wrong. But again, she didn't do anything wrong. She doesn't realize that. She does now, but
Yeah.
she didn't realize it then.
And so when she was on Aidan's stream, she
What happened?
stated that
What happened with that? Let me get to that real quick before you
sure.
go into that stream. Turtleboy Aidan, whatever he calls himself, he turned that statement without showing my daughters into a statement of I was slut shaming my daughter for being with the 49-year-old guy. I never slut shamed anybody, including now my ex-wife who cheated on me 5 times. I've never slut shamed her. My daughters ended up believing Turtleboy because he can spin a good story, if you will.
Oh, he can.
Okay.
He can.
Amongst just that, there was other things that he told her, that I was out to ruin her, and so on and so forth. I wouldn't let her see the light of day again, and there was a lot of things he told my daughter that came out later. So my daughter believed him and took his side and went with the abuse claims. If you want to play that now, I don't know which clip you have. If you want to play that clip now, you can.
Which one was that again? That was the.
I don't know which clip you have to play, but the clip where he said I was slut shaming my daughters.
Oh, from his live stream. I didn't even save the one from his live stream. It wasn't even.
That's all right. And my daughters went on his stream to say that I abused them. Both my daughters went on his stream to say I abused them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can tell on their face that you could tell in their actions and their attitude and their reactions, how very calm and relaxed they were, that there was never any abuse. They were just going with his story. The more his story dug deeper into my life, and I think there was 36 episodes, I believe he did into my life, the more he did his live streams, the more he was profiting off of it. And that's what this was all about, was he was profiting off of it.
Yeah.
I think he saw. Go ahead.
Did you ever have any kind of a restraining order against him or anything like that?
I attempted to file for a restraining order in Rhode Island.
And how did that go?
His local police department helps him out. His local police department helped to cover things up, to bury things for him. His local police department was great when I was over the phone with them, talking about restraining orders. They were fine. And all of a sudden, when I went there with the actual order, they are very angry and furious with me, and they refused to serve it, which was their job to do. So he wasn't properly served on that restraining order. And he knew about it because he did a live broadcast the day before about it, but he didn't show up. He went, instead of showing up, he went to his court in Massachusetts and filed one against me, which was false, clearly false.
And what was his claims on his one? Just while you tell us that, I just need to pop over and turn on the heater. I'll be right back.
His claims are funny as hell. His claims were that I was harassing him. That was it. I was harassing him by sending him emails to prove my daughter what my daughters were saying and everything was not true. He filed a harassment order in revenge of the one I have for me, and he filed a harassment order, basically to shut me up. And in the end result, it was to shut me up.
You'd wonder how many restraining orders has Aidan have? How many has he had filed against him over the years? You gotta kind of look at that and say, okay, there's obviously a common denominator.
I thought about that, and I was talking to somebody about that today. Okay, in Massachusetts, you have to go to each and every court and file a public records request. Right. In Rhode Island, you can go to the records department and get it from the entire state. In Massachusetts, you have to go each courthouse, which is crazy. I mean, there are so many courthouses in Massachusetts. It would take me a month just to get copies of anything.
Yeah, no, that seems
but
ridiculous.
In my guesstimates is over 50 or 60 that I can think of. Probably over 50 or 60 restraining orders. Either he's filed or someone filed against him.
And in my restraining order case, like there's a common denominator there, really, and that's Aidan ultimately.
In my restraining order case in Rhode Island, the Rhode Island sheriffs actually had to go out of district. They had to go out of Rhode Island, which they don't do because it's not their jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. And they had to go to Holden, Mass. To serve him with the police. The police couldn't refuse it now that the Rhode Island sheriffs were there to serve it. The judge ordered the sheriffs in Rhode Island. The Rhode Island judge ordered the sheriffs to serve it personally because I couldn't get it served any other way. He got served. He came to court, and when he came to court, the judge was already a little upset with him. I'm thinking, woohoo, you know. Apparently, he called the judge's office, and he was sending harassing threats to the judge's office, the clerk's office, and he was demanding that the clerk do her job and do what I say, kind of a basic thing. His natural arrogance towards everybody, towards the judge's clerk. He was upset that they were mad at him. He couldn't figure out why they were mad at him. I'd love to see what he sent them. That's not public record.
So at some point in all of this, as a direct result of your interactions with Aidan,
Turtleboy ended up making my Rhode Island case a federal case about free speech, not about the phone call you just heard, not about the threats and the harassment and the violence going on towards my home. He made it about free speech. And for me to fight that, it would have been $5,000 US. I don't have it. And so I couldn't fight it. I walked away.
At some point, he got
his order granted. Right. He got his order granted in Massachusetts because he manufactured all the evidence. I didn't even know where the evidence came from. He manufactured it all. The judge believed him, and I had a restraining order. Within a day or two of him getting his restraining order, he had recorded a fake voicemail to his wife's school to have me arrested. You got that voicemail as well, I believe.
Yeah. So
that one should play on your regular audio.
I don't know if you want me to say the name of the person on this.
I'll put it to you this way, so you're not liable. I was told by my divorce attorney, not my divorce. I was told by my criminal attorney in Massachusetts. Yes, I was told by another radio broadcaster and many other people that believe it's Howie Carr from the radio station in Massachusetts. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's who I believe it is. I'm not saying it is.
So the context to this one is it's claimed that this is you speaking in this voicemail, and this is the voicemail that directly resulted in you getting arrested and ending up incarcerated for a little while.
The first charge.
Okay.
That was the first charge, yes.
Here we go.
I was wondering when you guys are going to do something about that crazy teacher you have hired there, Julianne Carney. That's disgusting that you guys support that. Like, what's the matter with you people? We're not going to stop until she is fired.
So that, to me, right, and I'm not great with accents, but that does not sound like your accent at all.
No, and I don't call him Carney or whatever it is. I've always called him Kearney. Because that's how it's pronounced. Yeah. At least in a Rhode Island accent, it's a Kearney.
Right. Like where I'm from, we would pronounce it Carney, and I know a lot of people pronounce it Kearney. And let's just play that again, and let me ask the audience if they can honestly say that they think this is you.
I was wondering when you guys are going to do something about that crazy teacher you have hired there, Julianne Carney. That's disgusting that you guys support that. Like, what's the matter with you people? We're not going to stop until she is fired.
Like that's very clearly not you.
Until she's fired. Not fired. Fire. I can't even get it right like the guy said. Fired.
Yeah. And so how did it come about that you got arrested for this? So somebody called.
That was the first charge, okay?
Yeah.
And Turtleboy was on a live stream. I've actually got the information, but Turtleboy was on a live stream. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick and shoot an email over to you.
Yeah,
he was angry because what he realized was, bear with me one moment so I can look. What he realized is that first charge was not extraditable to Massachusetts.
That's right.
So he was very angry. Okay, I cannot do it because I'm on with you.
Oh, that's okay. I think I know the one you're talking about. I think I saw.
It's an hour and 22 minutes into that whatever video it is.
That's right.
He was angry,
and so he needed that to become.
What he did was, because he was angry on the live video, somebody made a comment. I don't remember exactly what the comment was, and he had that evil Grinch look in his face.
Oh yeah.
You know that really evil Mr. Grinch look?
Yeah, when his face
And
kind of pinches up like a butthole.
yeah, and he says, "Oh, I can say or do something and have the charges, whatever." The very next morning, he manufactures a fake email, which you have a copy of, with
Yep.
the email address directly ties to a story he did before in the past, with a Matthew and a Taylor person.
I
But
wanted
he
to
also
actually
used.
ask you about that email
Go
address.
ahead.
I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Is that all right?
Yeah, anything but my children are all right.
Um,
My daughter's picture you can put up on the screen too.
that one with the
But as long as you
picture,
gotta edit out her name.
yeah, her name is on it. And just because I'm using a new computer at the moment, I have no idea how to edit that out. So we'll just leave that one
Well, that's
off
all
for
right.
now. But I'll bring up this one on the screen here, and we'll have a look and see what people think. So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get a bit of clarification on this one. So so can you just give us quickly where this email, how this came about, and what the importance of the email is?
So if you go to YouTube and you look at his videos from April 7th, 2021, at an hour and 22 minutes, that will take you directly to that video where he was angry. That email, okay, let's start with the name, Melissa St. Pierre.
That name rings a bell.
From what I was told by Masshole Report, Kate Peter, that was a former follower of Turtleboy's.
Okay.
So that directly links it to Turtleboy. M.A. and then Taylor. There was a story he did in the past on a Matthew and a Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew actually lives at a house that starts with 451. So you manufacture an email. You really shouldn't manufacture an email that directly ties it to you. Okay? That Joe Law, whatever it is, that's the school department that he was chatting back and forth with. That's the school department where I supposedly knew an email address to his wife's school. I wouldn't have any way of knowing any email addresses to the wife's school, but that's directly to his wife's school. So all these things tie that one false fake email that he had me arrested for back to him. But that was the charge that got me extradited. I went to the Rhode Island prison overnight. I went into the men's prison as a transgender person, okay?
Yeah.
Little background, I have had surgical procedures to look very feminine, if you will.
Gotcha.
My chest is not flat like it used to be, just to say the least. And
Gotcha.
I'm walking into a men's prison with a bunch of men looking at me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you viewers something right after. I was in the prison cell, luckily by myself. There was a payphone in that cell, okay, where I thought of taking my pants off, tying it around my neck, and tying it around the pipe to the phone wire to that cell and hanging myself in prison.
That bad.
But he was enjoying a good laugh out of the whole thing, okay,
and making money off it.
And I think that night he made $4,000, $5,000 just on viewers, not even clicks.
Holy shit!
Okay. I went to court in Fitchburg, Mass. The next morning, and the judge released me out on personal recognizance, just like they did to him recently on that Friday before he beat up his pregnant girlfriend and got himself thrown in prison.
Yeah.
But he had me thrown in prison, and he was enjoying every moment of it. Okay.
Yeah.
My life was getting ruined faster and faster. People
like the time I made
house.
the time I made him think that I was in jail. The glee in know on his live stream and stuff, because he absolutely loves it. I'm going to grab a couple of comments and stuff from the side chat. Just keep up to speed.
Well, what does your commenters say about my voice?
Oh yeah, for like literally everybody is like, it doesn't sound like you at all. Like, again, I'm not great with accents. I've been to Massachusetts, and the accent on the video sounded like a Mass accent. Yours clearly isn't.
Right. I was told it's a Western Mass accent, but everybody
it's closer to his accent, if anything.
I'm not sure about his either, but yeah, because he's got more of a different accent than I have, right?
Yeah, like he wouldn't have like what I would consider like a strong Boston accent. His is kind of seems more West, and from what I understand, he lives kind of west of Boston. But let me just grab a couple of these comments and stuff here.
Go for it.
Stephen
I'm gonna
for
grab something
£2
to drink
says,
real quick.
yeah, go for it. No worries. Stephen says, sorry, Supermax is where it's at. That is true. Supermax chicken is magnificent. And Stephen for £5 says, anyone speaks ill of Chloe will have the wrath of the IT guy. We are too powerful. That is very, very, very true. He can unhide your search history. Now, just let me know when you're back there, Ashley.
I'm here. No, I'm listening the whole time.
So one of the comments here, just going to say straight up, the language isn't great on it, but I think it's an important one to address nonetheless. It comes from somebody called Jadams. Picture of Aidan locked up as their thing says, Irish Demon and Turtleboy have a history. It's hilarious that a transvestite with a history also teaming up to attack Turtleboy while he's incarcerated. Thanks for the laughs. So real quick,
Well,
I can
I'm
just
not
tell this
attacking
person,
him.
no, me either. And I can just tell this person straight up, I don't need to team up with anybody to come at Turtleboy. I can tell you that right the fuck now. Because he's a little
I'm not
pussy.
a transvestite. Transvestite is someone, I believe, that does shows and stuff like that for entertainment. Now, not that they're not whatever, but I'm transgender. I live my life full time. Transvestites don't live full time.
My understanding
of my knowledge.
transvestite was somebody who just likes to wear women's clothes, but not necessarily live as a woman. Is that? I don't know if that's right.
That's what I believe as well. And being in the community, I don't know everything either. That seems like a perfect example.
Exactly.
Some people can't see the difference, though.
Yeah. And then this same person says, Krusty Pants is his source. Now it makes sense. Panties. And second of all, I just don't get what
Aidan Kearney. That's what Aidan Kearney calls Kate Peter.
Exactly.
Masshole report. Yeah.
And I don't understand what the obsession is with her underwear. It's just such a bizarre obsession that these people all seem to have.
Well, did you know? Did you know that Turtleboy lost his original job, teaching job? Do you know the story behind that?
Well, I challenged him on that, and he said that everything I'd been told was untrue.
Well, it's in the telegram from back then. Well, it's in the telegram from back when. That the whole situation was in the telegram. It's called the telegram, I believe. And it explained the whole situation. Aidan's mother has a lot of power in that community. Okay.
Right.
I don't remember the mother's name. She had a lot of power in that community. So he was offered a sweetheart deal. He walked away from teaching altogether, lost his teaching license altogether in lieu of an investigation so he wouldn't get criminally charged with it. Okay? Anybody else would have been criminally charged. Online, I believe the headline is Turtleboy's victim speaks out. It's the Turtleboy's victim spoke out. It's in a WordPress page, I believe. Mm-hmm. But Turtleboy was some sort of sexual innuendos with a student. Okay? Yeah. So Turtleboy's whole history is about him having sex or dealing with sex-related, issues.
Yeah.
And I believe Turtleboy started his blog because he was publicly shamed in the news and on the newspaper. That telegram, he was publicly shamed for losing his job for sexual innuendos with a student. I think his blog he built was to shame other people so they could feel the shame he feels.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I did challenge him on that when I met him. I was like, okay, we need to talk about this because I've had it. And when I was going out there, I was contacted by somebody who was very, 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 very close to that whole situation, independently verified everything from outside of YouTube world. And I put it to him and he said that it was all bullshit, basically. Which obviously I don't believe because, I can't bring myself to believe everything this guy says. There's some things that he has said and has proven. And, when you look at the documents, some of them are true, but we've seen him time and time again generating fake documents. So it's impossible to believe.
Well, that's the thing. Everything he's done with me, he manufactured the documents. Okay. Everything that his restraining order case in Massachusetts was all manufactured documents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Telegram Gazette. I'm on their website real quick, and I don't mean to block you. Check your comment section while I'm doing this real quick.
Or even if you could, is there any way of emailing it to me? Oh well, not while you're on the stream, isn't it?
Yeah, because I went on the stream through the email. All right. So the headline, if you look at this, okay, Turtleboy blogger unmasked, and it's by the telegram.com.
I'll just try to find that there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, try to find that. It says the headline is Turtleboy blogger unmasked.
Turtleboy blogger unmasked.
And the website is telegram.com.
Let me see here now. I can't find that. There's a Reddit there.
No, this is a Telegram. It's by Telegram.
And I would just find that on a Google search, is it? Or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
here it
just
is,
found
yeah.
it in like 10 seconds. Now, about 3/4 of the way down the page, it'll show you that section where the telegram.com, it's a local, it's a legitimate news media company. The headline I'll start with, it's underneath an advertisement. It says last October. That section there, you can show to your viewers.
have you got a link to that by any chance? I can't find it for some reason. It could be because of being in Ireland as well. It doesn't show me some things.
All right, so what'll happen? I'm going to try to send you the link.
Yeah,
If
if you
I
can send
get
it
disconnected,
even in the private chat, if you want to send it there. Oh yeah, if you get disconnected, I'll hold on
oh,
for
private
you.
chat. Okay, I didn't know I could do it in private chat.
I should be able to anyway.
All right, well, let's do that right here.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an obsession with going after people's kids. It's like
yeah, well,
yeah.
That's the thing with me. He could have done the right thing and helped me find my daughter and bring her home safe. Let me get this sent over to you.
Yeah, no worries.
Come on. Hold on. Come on, don't argue with me. And what are we doing here? All right.
Okay.
There you go. I didn't know you could do that. I'm still getting used to all this stuff.
It's really the private chat's really handy. All right, so I'll actually just pop this up on the screen so people can
It'll
have
start
a look at it with
the
this.
section of importance starts where it says last October. That's the section of importance. This was reported when it happened by a legitimate news company.
So, all right, let's pop that up on the screen. And all right, so it reads, so this is Clive McFarlane, Telegram and Gazette staff. Aidan Carney, son of former school committee member Mary Mullaney, is the face behind Turtleboy Sports, a crass and craven local blog that peddles the cheap thrills
That's his
that
mother's
dehumanizing
name, I
groups.
believe.
Oh, Mary Mullaney, is it? Dehumanizing groups and individuals bring to some people. Up
Mary
until now, Mr.
Mulvaney or
Carney had
something like
hidden
that.
behind a wall of anonymity, but his eagerness to make a fortune on the returns that meanness and insensitivity get you these days apparently got the better of him. Mr. Carney still claims that Turtleboy is a number of different bloggers, but he is the registered and sole owner of Turtleboy Digital Marketing, a domestic limited partnership described as a blogging website that will raise revenue through selling ad space and possibly merchandise. Mr. Carney's Worcester address is the business address, so however he chooses to distance himself from the blog, he owns it legally and morally. It's not so much that the blog writes off some Worcester parents and their children as savages. Among its entries, for example, you will find in reference to a North High School incident. Would you want your job performance to be based on how a bunch of savages do on a standardized test? Kids are being raised by savages, referring to an incident in which parents took their children off a school bus. It's not that he doesn't have the right to refer to kids in violent degrading terms or to likewise characterize residents' city council testimony in support of reforming police practices and policies. What makes these callous and insensitive comments more troubling is that the guy, until recently a teacher at Shepherd Hill Regional High School, appears to have a fair share of enablers, so much so that he feels the blog is the true voice of the community, bragging of how warmly it and its cesspool of profanity-laden commentary are being received by judges, doctors, nurses, teachers, cops, and firefighters. Who am I to contradict him? The blog does run advertisements for area businesses and professionals. It's featured on the website of a local media outlet, and North High School teacher once posted it to her Facebook page. But as often is the case, as soon as you try to drag people like Mr. Carney into the light of day, they run squirming for cover, and that is what is happening here. Last October, his alleged lewd and intimidating behavior toward a young woman at a Patriots Buffalo Bills game in Buffalo triggered an investigation by school officials at Shepherd Hill. Mr. Carney, however, chose to resign rather than face the music. Superintendent of Schools Greg Desto confirmed that the school and Mr. Carney came to a mutual agreement to part ways before the investigation was completed. Mr. Carney, not surprisingly, framed his departure differently. He quit, he said, not because of the investigation, but because he didn't want to be fingerprinted. Maths teachers are mandated to do so now, and because he had become disillusioned as a teacher. He dropped the names of 2 former high school area teachers, noting that their departure was based on allegations of abusing and having sex with students, and he suggested that they, not he, are the teachers I should be writing about. But I have the right guy. All right. People like him have to cling to their anonymity because it allows them to spread their filth in the dark and still reap the benefits afforded to those who live responsibly in society. His sham isn't lost on anybody, but his joke is on us because his duplicity doesn't make him prosperous. He still has in his pocket a teacher's license ready to use on the savages he so despises.
He lost his teacher's license. The state withdrew it. But that's the thing. What do you say about a narcissist? A narcissist exposes their actions onto others.
Mm-hmm.
So what he tried to do is he tried to out 2 teachers, which were found innocent. He tried to out 2 teachers for his actions that he has done, try to get them in trouble because he lost his job.
Mm-hmm.
Again, his mother was a head of the school committee or whatever she was, Mary Mulverney or whatever it is.
Yeah.
She was the head honcho. Anybody else, they would have been criminally charged. He got a sweetheart deal. Just walk away. In the end result, later that year, I think it was in 2018, he lost his teaching license.
Yeah,
So
I
he's
did
not
ask
allowed
him
to
about
walk-
that, and he said to me that he hadn't lost his teaching license, that it was that he had basically just walked away from the job because he didn't want to be fingerprinted. He told me that exact same thing.
Yeah, he didn't want to be fingerprinted. He didn't want to be investigated for sexual innuendo with a student is what he didn't want.
Do we know
That
any
would
of the
have been a
details of
criminal
what was
charge.
said, or?
Basically, all I have is other articles online, including the victim's statement. Turtleboy's Victim Speaks Out, I believe is what it's called. That's a very long article, but other than that, his teaching license, from what I understand, from another person, a third party or a fourth party, if you will, his license was suspended in 2018.
Yeah.
The state took it away in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if there's a way online to verify that. That would be nice, so at least, the viewers would know the truth. But I'm not going to go digging for it because I don't waste enough of my time on him. Anyways, While I was on bail in Massachusetts for his fake charges, he stalked me. He taunted me. Everything I commented on, he followed. I sent you screenshots of those.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I thought it was just because he could get away with it and it was harassment. I don't know enough about this internet stuff to know that he was actually doing it for clicks and views and harassing me, He was stalking everything I did to the point I had to lock down my Facebook, my YouTube, everything I had to lock it down, So if anybody ever wanted to find me, they'd never be able to.
Yeah.
I ended up going to trial on September 28, 2023, a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my lawyer was such a very good and powerful lawyer. His name is Christopher Walton out of Fitchburg, Massachusetts. If anybody in Massachusetts is listening to this, Christopher Walton, if you ever need a defense lawyer for any reason, He is a 10-star gold lawyer. He definitely deserves his credit. He had his investigators look into it. He traced these emails, and they all came back to Turtleboy. That false recording, again, I can't prove that it was Howie Carr, but everybody, including the attorney and other radio hosts, said they believe 100% it's Howie Carr. Okay. So he has his buddy, because Howie Carr is his buddy at the radio station, the local radio station. Howie Carr backs him up all the way. I don't know much about anything about Howie Carr because I don't listen to it. But he has everybody that he knows involved in tormenting me because I'm transgender and because Turtleboy spun a horrible lie about me. Turtleboy even said that my house was condemned. Except the problem with that was my house was sold at least a month prior to that. They boarded it up because someone broke in and stole the plumbing. So they boarded up the house. It wasn't because my house was condemned. It was because someone else bought it and boarded it up because they weren't ready to flip it yet. But he told his viewers my house was condemned. So he couldn't even tell the truth about anything. He probably would have made more money out searching for a missing person, but that wouldn't have lasted as long once the child was found,
Exactly. Because that would be the end of the story.
Right. So he spun it into something it wasn't. When I went to trial, the judge threw out all the emails because my lawyer's investigator proved every one of them was manufactured. The only thing I had to stand trial for was that voicemail that you played to his wife's school.
Yeah. And that was enough to get you locked up, that voicemail.
That was the second charge. See, I live in Rhode Island. He lives in Massachusetts. So Massachusetts couldn't have Rhode Island lock me up on the first charge alone. Okay, so I wasn't able to be extradited out of Rhode Island into Massachusetts. So when he got the second charge against me, that made it extraditable. That's what allowed me to get locked up in Rhode Island, sent to the prison in Rhode Island until I went to court the next morning in Massachusetts. Okay, That's what got me locked up. Is his second fake, false, phony charge that all led back to him. Okay, the jury ended up very prejudicial. The jury was able to read Turtleboy's September 1st, 2020 story on me. They were able to read that whole nasty, disgusting, full of lies stories on me. And I thought at that point, that's it, I'm screwed because they're reading all this nasty stuff about me.
Yeah. So they were reading his articles.
Right. Full of lies they were reading. And it went into, after the articles, it went into testimony. I never testified in my trial. I never went on the stand in my trial. The jury never heard my real voice. What they heard was a recording Turtleboy illegally took of my arraignment in Massachusetts. Turtleboy recorded that arraignment, which was illegal. And then they heard that voice recording. They went back in the jury room, and the judge started to listen to other cases. When we came back into the courtroom, the jury had a question. The question was if they could hear those recordings side by side again. They listened to it like 4 or 5 times. They went back in the jury room, and within 5 minutes, they came back out. I'm still hung up on the fact that they read Turtleboy's nasty blog about me. And I'm sitting there shaking now because I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. Am I going to jail because of his lies? I'm thinking to myself at that point, is suicide better than waiting for the jury verdict? Because I didn't want to go back to jail. The jury came back within 5 minutes and said not guilty. I took such a deep breath of fresh air, and I started to break down crying.
So
I was literally in tears bawling.
Was the charge breach of restraining order, or was it a
basically basic violation of a harassment order?
Gotcha.
And he had 2 counts on me. The first one with the fake voicemail, the second one with the fake email. So
the fake email being the one we looked at earlier, is it?
Right. Yep. The fake voicemail and the fake email. But that's not the end of the story. He antagonized people to come by my house. He gave out my address, my phone number, my email. He gave out everything. People came by my house. Me and my friend was sitting on the couch with my son in the house. Now, mind you, my son was at 14, 15 at the time. Me and my son are on the couch talking to a couple of friends, and all of a sudden you hear poop, 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 poop outside the house. We jumped for the floor. We were getting shot at. In the end result, it was paintball guns, but still, you don't know inside your house if bullets are going to come ringing through your walls and windows. They busted my windshield. They threw eggs. They threw rocks, bricks. You know, they were destroying the house. All right, they put up hate posters out front.
Like their hate for you was purely based on
lies.
Aidan making bullshit up, basically.
Right.
Just for a story.
Yep. Just for him to make money on.
Fucking
he almost, if these people were sick enough and had real guns, we may not be, me and my son and our two friends may not be standing here today.
Yeah. And
thankfully it was paintballs.
Like he gives out people's addresses all the time. He tried so hard to get mine. And
he
in fact, he released what he thought was my address and my real name and stuff, which was absolutely hilarious. Like my real name and address are out there. I don't give a shit. I welcome anybody to even try where I live. But good luck even getting down my driveway. It's like the surface of the moon at the moment. But when you come down here, you'll be met with an angry little Irish woman with a crowbar and 3 chihuahuas. So good luck to you is all I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from there, then where did things go then with especially with the kids? Like how did that all kind of resolve itself, or resolve itself?
My daughter was found living with the guys, this 49-year-old guy's buddy. So this guy had access to my daughter the whole time. His buddy ended up getting arrested for beating the Christ out of my daughter. My ex-wife thought it was okay for her to live there. Thought it was a good idea, my ex-wife. Okay, she thought it was a good idea that my daughter was living with this other guy who was beating on her while the boyfriend was able to see her. Yeah. My daughter ended up coming back to me, in tears. She thought I was still mad at her over the boyfriend. I was never mad at her. I was mad at my ex-wife and the boyfriend, the groomer. She ended up coming back in my life. My older daughter, who was against me because she thought I was slut-shaming my younger daughter, they're back in my life. I have conversations with them almost every day. My ex-wife has no conversations. They don't want nothing to do with her. The day my ex-wife walked out of her house the last time, she looked at my son and she says, "You're going to live with your father. You're nothing but a loser." How do you say that to your own son, to his face?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
She is, and I'm getting into writing a journal about her now, but she is, and I don't want to say this to sound wrong. I loved her, but she was one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
Yeah.
I loved her. I loved her up until the 3rd or 4th time she cheated on me. After that, it was all about the kids. But I also sent you police reports too about the past with my daughter. Some idiot in school thought it would be a good idea to tape my daughter's or Photoshop my daughter's head on a naked child's body and pass it around the school.
Jesus Christ.
You should have that police report as well.
I do,
I fought and defended my daughter. There's videos on my YouTube page of my son being beaten on the bus and blamed for it. I fought and defended my children. I'm the only one that's ever been involved in my children's life. I'm the only one that's took care of my children's doctors and school and whatever. My ex-wife did nothing for these kids.
Jesus Christ.
And
Turtleboy just kind
she's a victim.
And then Turtleboy just kind of uses that to make a few bucks online and ruin somebody's life in the meantime.
Right.
That's so fucked up.
But you know what they say, my friend? They say karma's a bitch.
Karma is a bitch.
And it's coming his way. I don't wish any harm on him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an evil person. I don't wish any harm on him. Okay? Because he's harming himself enough.
Yeah.
I don't wish harm on my ex-wife. I don't, the pervert, if he gets caught, and someone beats the Christ out of him because he's with a minor, well, he deserves the harm he gets, but I don't wish it on him.
I said it to a buddy of mine the other day. I said, oh, you gone? Oh, you're back? I said it to a buddy of mine the other day. I was like, karma's a bitch. He was like, yeah, that's not why I'm not worried because I can't get bitches. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I can't argue with that. Can't argue with that logic,
Nope.
So moving on from there. So what kind of transpired after that? Did he kind of start to leave you alone once he started getting into his own problems, or?
Well, he was on video on September 28th bragging about how he testified against me. All happy that he testified. I'm going to go to jail, he said on his video. As soon as the not guilty verdict came out, he went dead silent, not even mentioning me. I was on the Stephanie in the Morning Show. I know you guys are in Ireland. Stephanie on the Morning Show is out of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. That woman
I
is
actually
the
watched that
greatest.
today. Yeah.
Yep, she is absolutely the greatest. She is a fun person. He tried to deny that she even existed so his viewers won't see it. He didn't want his viewers to see it. And there's a follower of mine, there's a woman following me, Kendra James. She's all over it, and he's denying any of that. But it's his own voice in those videos. You know, she's on TikTok. Kendra James, I think it's 65 on TikTok. There is some priceless videos there.
Okay,
But
we'll check
he's
that out.
trying to deny everything, okay? If you check that out, I don't know if you have TikTok available right now.
I don't actually use TikTok at all, to be honest. Chloe, my partner, does. I don't know if she's listening
Let me
right
see
now.
if
She
I
might be
can
able to
find
bring
the
it up.
link to that video. Hold on real quick, because that video is priceless if you can play it.
What is it? A video of him?
That's when he got arraigned for the 16 indictments.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
She made a video that's absolutely priceless.
I'll check that out.
It's saved right here. I'm trying to just see if it'll open for me. I'll share that link through hold on. Because I saved that as one of my favorites. All right. The sound at the end kind of dies, but for 3/4 of it, it's definitely worth viewing. And the end result, I got my daughters in my life. My son still lives with me, which I'm very grateful for. You know, an older teenage, what is he, 18-year-old teenage boy living with you. He's a little tough at times, but you know what? You know he's safe every night. You know what he is. You know everything's good with him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, no, I see that one. The only problem with playing that is the music. It could get the stream shut down, so I might not be able to play that one.
No, it's allowed on TikTok, so it won't shut you down.
It might fuck with the channel a little bit though if I play it.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah,
you can
I
share
get
a
that
link
from
to it to
time
your
to time.
viewers.
Absolutely, I'll pop that in
Share
the
a
side
link
chat for anybody
if
who wants
they
to see
want
it.
a good laugh. That is it.
I'm just gonna pop.
There's a
that
lot
in
of
the
other
side
good
chat.
videos on that blog. There's a lot of other good videos in that. What is that, TikTok? Is that a blog or is that, you know, video chat or whatever that is?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to put it into a category. Kind of just like short video sharing, I guess. I personally,
There you go.
fucking hate TikTok. Ever heard the term educated fools? They walk by me every day and hundreds of thousands for indoctrination. It's hilarious. Okay, cool story. I'm not really sure what that's about, but
No, I wasn't
R&R
too sure
Paranormal
either, but
says nobody respects Turtleboy. I disagree respectfully.
he's got,
a lot of people do. He's got a big following, which is weird to
well,
me.
let me put it to you this way. He at least had a big following. Okay. From what I'm understanding, he's losing a lot of people more and more every day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I think people, now that all this shit's gone on, people have kind of started to realize that, okay, maybe this guy is actually a piece of shit.
I don't know if Turtleboy realizes it. He went into this whole Karen Reed case, whether she's guilty or not, he went into this because of the national attention.
Yes.
Not for any other reason. Not
it's exactly
because he believes she's innocent.
It's the same as Chili de Castro. Like anything that will get a bit of clout. That's all they want. He's a clout chaser.
You know? But here's the thing: he did all this for the national attention. Even Court TV. I don't know if you've seen the clip, but the woman from Court TV, which is also in that person's videos, in a group of videos, that same account. Even Court TV said that Turtleboy needs counseling. Even he lost their respect, you know?
Yeah.
So he lost the national attention.
Just real quick, there's a comment here from Alan S. says, so a question to all, this person is a convicted felon that has spent time in prison. How much should we actually believe? I don't know. Is that aimed at you? I don't believe
if it was aimed at me, I've never been convicted of anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think
I have a zero clean criminal record. The only
think
charge I was pending for 3 years was Turtleboy's false charges, and I was found not guilty by
and
a
you were found
trial,
not
by a
guilty.
jury.
Like you did spend. Was it just the one night in?
Just the one night in prison, yes.
And that was, on, after
That was
those
in Rhode
charges were
Island,
done or
waiting to
whatever.
go to Massachusetts. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Just to clarify that for anybody, that's what you're
I
saying to us
have
about.
zero criminal record. Our state child investigative services, the supervisor is the one that did the job and cleared me. I
Yeah.
have a good history with the state child protective services. My ex-wife doesn't. My ex-wife right now is so hard up for a baby. She's actually looking into having her tubes untied or adoption. When she found out that the state child protective services will not allow her to adopt because of her history. But if I chose to, I could go out today and adopt. I am all set. Don't get me wrong. No disrespect, but I don't want any more children. I
Yeah.
brought my 3 up.
Yeah.
But she cannot adopt, but I could.
Jadam says, without Turtleboy, Karen Reed's locked up in jail by dirty cops. That may well be the case, right? Like, I have not looked into the Karen Reed case because, frankly, I'm not interested in it. Truth be told,
Right.
it
There's
may well
so
be
much
true.
controversy.
Oh,
There's so
tons.
much controversy. My
And what
thing with
this
the
person
Karen
is
Reed
saying-
case,
Like, this person, what they're saying might be true, but that doesn't take away from the fact that, Turtleboy does all of this other horrible shit that ruins people's lives.
well, here's the funny thing, though.
Both those things can be true at the same time.
I don't know if the feds are investigating the police at all because the feds are investigating Turtleboy and Karen Reed together.
Mm-hmm.
They're investigating what those two have done together. So I don't know if she's
Yeah.
guilty.
That's
I
the
don't
new
know if
grand
she's
jury
innocent.
thing.
Right. I don't know what the deal is. Karen Reed's case, I will find out at the end of trial when they come up with a verdict.
Exactly.
That's what I'll believe. Other than
Exactly.
that, Karen Reed's case is Karen Reed's case. It should have never gotten this kind of attention. But when the jury makes the decision, that's what I'll go with.
Exactly. Paul Fraser of Scotland for £5 says, thank you for sharing it, Ashley. Keep a good record about what is happening. If he hassles you at work, you have better leverage and report anything. And that's true. Keeping a good record of everything is vitally important.
What I've been doing is I've been online, especially Reddit, helping other domestic violence victims to do the right thing.
Fantastic.
So I'm paying it forward,
Good on you.
I'm trying to help other people, from my experiences, help other people through their situations.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the right thing to do.
So he's pretty much left you alone now, right?
He's ghosted me, and he's trying to cover up the fact of what happened between my case and his, which is another reason it's very important to get my story out, because without people knowing the real Turtleboy and what he's done to other people, they may still believe his lies and get themselves tied up with him. There are many people from that road rally that are now arrested and charged for intimidation of witnesses that he caused. People that followed him are now charged for his situation. And the only one that's benefited from it,
into this.
and the only one to benefit from it is Turtleboy. But the funny thing is, Turtleboy's sitting here defending Karen Reed. Karen Reed is not in jail, but Turtleboy is.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about it. Like, she, somebody just pointed out that Kate was saying yesterday on Fraud or the Troll stream about Karen Reed basically orchestrating a lot of this stuff. So not only is she pulling people into this and causing them problems, and again, I don't know what her situation is, whether she's guilty or what. I don't. But then Turtleboy,
my best defense on that is, my best defense on is she guilty or not. I have my feelings, I have my beliefs, but the best way to find out is let the jury do their job. Because the state's evidence is not being put out there. The state's not saying a word on what they have.
Yeah.
The defense is putting it out there, and Turtleboy in the defense, like the defense did with Turtleboy's case. Oh, I was laughing so hard on Monday. Turtleboy's lawyer brought in a hostile witness.
Oh,
she was hostile.
That was brilliant. I was doing that live. I was covering that live. It was fucking hilarious.
She was hostile
like, I want nothing
because she didn't want to get involved. My belief is the attorney's investigator got arrested for going to her house and intimidating her. Here's my belief on that situation, okay?
Mhm.
The investigator and the lawyer probably pre-made up that 10-page statement. They probably did it all by themselves and tried to force her to sign it, and she
Yeah,
refused.
that lawyer's a greasy fucker.
Yeah, that is just well. The thing is, Turtle Boy gets people that think the same way he does. Okay,
Exactly.
and that lawyer looked like the biggest turd in court. But the other problem is that Tom CPU guy, he was reporting live on it too, but he wasn't reporting any of the information that was legitimate.
Mhm.
The fact that Turtle Boy says that he uses sex videos to basically
Yeah, he admitted to
he used the
using.
sex videos to force his way, if you will, I guess,
Yeah, and
to
then
get what
he's
he
in there
wanted.
defending himself for witness intimidation, and he comes out with,
Right,
"Oh yeah, I use revenge porn on my ex girlfriends." It's like what?
right,
Because it's for whatever fucking reason that's still legal in Massachusetts. I don't know
right.
why, but
But in
it's
the end result, it didn't work on that hearing that day. I think they were trying to force this woman into a fake statement. She didn't sign it, so the statement was obviously fake because she didn't sign it. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And like she
so I
straight up
think,
said to them that she knows nothing, she wants nothing to do with it. I thought it was
and
brilliant. It was
the
absolutely awesome.
judge was sitting there looking at the guy, and I think the judge even made a comment about that. It's your witness, you know.
Yeah. He's like, you can't stand here and try to impeach your own witness. Like you know,
Right.
he made an absolute tit of himself. But
Yep.
anyway, before we go, I'm just gonna hand it over to the chat, see if we have any questions from anybody. If
I'm
you'd
more than
like
happy to
to
answer every question.
that'd be awesome. If anybody's got any questions that they'd like to put in before we get out of here for this
You know,
evening.
just so they
Um,
understand, the whole thing with my divorce and my situation was it was all in defense to protect my children.
yeah,
My daughter should not have had a sexual relationship with a 49-year-old guy. You've got the
absolutely.
documents, you've got the restraining order there. Unfortunately, I don't think you can show it because it may have my
Because
daughter's
of
name
the
on it.
exactly,
But
yeah.
you have it, do you not?
I do. Yeah.
And you have the
And
gentleman's name, the pervert's name on the restraining order.
I sure do.
Okay, this way your viewers know that before they ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Turtle Boy's acting like a tough guy. You're right. He is acting like a tough guy, but he's not acting like a tough guy in prison. He says the cops are pigs. He called them on that video pigs. He's in prison kissing the guards' asses.
Yeah, he's said on a lot of his release statements that the guards have been great and yada yada yada.
He's kissing their asses because he knows what
Yep,
kind of trouble he can deal with.
exactly. He's like a trap rat now, I think.
I'm not saying the guards aren't decent. I'm just saying that he's brown nosing up to them the best he can to stay on their good side.
Of course he is. There's talk about him being in protective custody.
I
I don't know
heard
what
that too.
I don't know how true
Turtle
that
Boy,
is, but
Turtle Boy's good at crying suicide. Every time he cries suicide, you see his website or his blog or whatever it is go cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
yeah.
So I think he's crying suicide to stay out of general population. General
Yeah.
population in Massachusetts is not very keen on a guy that beats up a pregnant woman.
No, definitely fucking not. And like, you know, we've seen him, you know, the lady that was in court the other day said that he's threatened to take his own life if she didn't do X, Y, or Z. Like we've seen this
Right.
before. It's not the first time we've seen this.
And I think the only
You know?
reason he was in protective custody was because he's afraid of general population.
Of course he is. Christopher O'Connor said he said
Also-
that other prisoners respect him because he fights for their rights. I doubt that. I doubt
That's
that.
what he's claiming, probably. Turtle Boy's claiming, probably. But, you know,
Yeah.
who knows? Because the prisoners don't follow Turtle Boy in jail, the best I know.
Oh yeah, no, I'd say he wouldn't last 2 seconds in jail, especially here. My God, he would be in some condition if he was in jail in Ireland. I can tell you that much. He would
Yeah.
not. People like him don't last very long in countries like this. Like
Thank
we're a
you
very
to all your
peaceful little
viewers.
nation. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all
for
your
joining
viewers
us.
giving me these great comments.
It's great though that you know, for you to be able to come on and tell us your side of it, and at least he's leaving. Well, let's just say he's got more problems on his hands at the moment.
Right. And, you know, I'm looking into having criminal charges pressed against him for all the things he's done to me.
You should.
And
Fuck it.
I'm thinking to myself, well, he's got himself into enough of a mess already. You know, I'm not familiar with all this legalities like, you know, everybody, I guess he and whoever he knows is. And then I'm
Mhm.
looking at it too is if I do file suit or not lawsuit, if I do, I can sue him for these things as well. But if I look into filing criminal charges, will he come back into my life? He's still got
That's the
that
thing.
fear over me.
Yeah.
That's a fear he still has over me.
And it's a matter of weighing up. Do you just kind of rest on your laurels knowing that he's in enough shit as it is, and kind of take it, you know, as karma, or, you know, is it something you want to pursue and put yourself back in the firing line?
Actually, you
It's a
know what?
tough one.
Ask your viewers that. Ask your viewers what they
Yeah.
would do and see what
What do you
kind of
guys think?
comments you get. Should
Yeah,
I
I'd be
file the criminal
interested
charges against them, or should I just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show?
and enjoy the show. I can give you my opinion on it is I'd be sitting back, relaxing, enjoying the show, because you're getting the same result without any of the stress. That's the way I would look at it, but I totally understand why other people would not see it that way. But I would,
You know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, I'd
kind of
like to see
teeter
what people
tottering on
say.
that idea still. You know.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I suppose what I probably do as well is wait and see if he gets fucked over for this. Like, what kind of time is he looking at?
I don't even know. He's got 16 counts of intimidating a witness. He's now got domestic violence charges and intimidating a witness. And I'm thinking when they get into his computers, I don't know how much you know about him. When they raided his house, they took his computers and
Oh
all of
yeah,
his
they took
phones.
everything. Yeah,
They haven't had access to it because there's been legal battles regarding that. I'm thinking when they get access to his computers, I think he's going to be facing a lot of new charges.
I do
And
too.
and I'm going to be honest with you, as you keep going back to, he's got this interest in women's underwear.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering if he's got child pornography on his computer as well.
That was one of my first things that I thought of. And it's not something that I throw out there very, very loosely,
No,
but he does
no.
seem to have such an obsession with people's young teenage daughters. It's really
And
bizarre.
and girls' underwear. That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
thinking. He's got an
yeah.
obsession with children and girls' underwear.
It's there's something ain't right there.
Well, he's not right at all, in my opinion. I'm sorry, you know, if people disagree. I've in my life dealing with Turtleboy, I honestly felt as though we're dealing with a terrorist. You know,
Yeah.
someone that attacks and attacks and attacks more and doesn't stop until they're done.
Yeah, just
That's
to
what a terrorist
literally to
is.
terrify you and to make you uncomfortable in your own skin and your own home. Like, it's terrible.
I've been uncomfortable in my own skin growing up. See, that's the other thing too. My ex-wife knew when I met her in 1997, I met her. The first week I told her back then, I thought back then it was a cross dresser. I didn't know the terminology
Mhm.
transgender. But I told her straight up who I really was. You know, and she loved me, and we used to go out to bars, nightclubs that had transgender nights, and we had a great time throughout our whole marriage as far as me being transgender. But now she
Yeah,
turns it into something nasty and something dirty, you know.
yeah,
We can
yeah.
do a whole new episode on my ex-wife in that situation all by itself another day. But
There's a
what do your
whole other
viewers think
story.
about? Oh, it's deep. It's very
So from
deep.
what I'm seeing here, the vast majority of people think that you should sit back, enjoy life, and watch
Tell
them
them,
burn.
tell them I accept their suggestion. That's what I'm going to do. I accept their
Yeah, that's
opinion.
what I think too. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was an absolute
Thank
pleasure to
you
have you
so
on,
much for
and I
covering the
really,
story. You know,
absolutely, my pleasure. And no, it was great to have you on and to have your story.
if you want to put a
Uh,
link to my YouTube video page,
yeah, absolutely, I will do.
and if it's okay that I share your video on my page,
Oh
with
yeah,
credit
by
to
all
you,
means,
they
absolutely,
can see the
absolutely.
videos of my son being beaten on the bus. You
Yeah,
know, they
for
can see
sure.
that I've always been there to defend my children. You know,
I will send. I'll put a link to your channel in the side chat as well for people to check
sure.
that out. And absolutely, yeah, feel free to share away, share this. No problem at all. Um,
And
I'm
in
just
end
going
result, as far
to.
as my son goes with those beatings, I ended up winning and getting my son out of that school. Our district ended up having to pay for it, but I got him away from the abuse.
Yeah,
Again, that's what a real parent should do, not sit back on the couch and sleep all day and let your kids be beat. My son was in the hospital for almost a week with the last severe beating he got in that school. A week. critically injured. Okay, I'm the only one that's ever been there in defense of my children. As that other police report goes with my daughter, with that kid pasting her head to a naked child's body, I'm the only one that's fought with that.
Yeah.
So
That's fucking nuts, isn't it?
but I stayed in my marriage for the last 7 years just to make sure my kids were taken care of.
Good on you, though. Like, that's not an easy thing to do.
No, bad marriage, but to me, it wasn't about the marriage anymore. There was no marriage anymore as far as 2015, I believe, goes.
Yeah.
But the kids were always an important goal.
They were the number one part of it.
A lot of people would have walked away and said, screw this. She's nuts. Screw this and walk away. But I couldn't walk away from my kids.
Exactly. That's a bigger thing altogether, isn't it? It's like a whole other level that I think, like, I don't have any kids, but people who don't have kids probably wouldn't fully understand,
Right. And the kids are the kids are, in my opinion, my kids have all been a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, my kids have all been victims. And again, that's a story for another day I can get into with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna
take care.
Away.
Thank you to all your viewers.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And
tell your viewers I'm accepting their recommendation. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show because I do respect other people's opinions.
You and me both. We're both gonna sit back and enjoy this show. That's for sure.
And I look forward to hearing from you again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and stay in touch.
Take care.
Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, so there we had the story of Ashley and her situation with Turtleboy. So with that, lads and lassies, I am starting to go downhill massively. It's getting late here. I've had a very long day. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm pretty cream crackered. But yeah, I'm going to get my delicious Irish arse out of here. And yeah, if there's anybody watching who's going to be in around London at the very first week of next month, let me know. I'm going to be taking a special trip over there for a few days. I'm going to be meeting up with a few people in London, doing some videos in London town. So it'll be a lot of fun. But again, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Slán.